Welcome to FrazlCast. I am Frazly, and this is a podcast by a Blizzard fan gnome about World of Warcraft and geeky stuff. Each week I am always visited by some awesome people, and this week we have Siilverbolt.
Am I supposed to say hi? Hi!
Hey, Silver. And Siilverbolt is part of Convert to Raid. She runs Convert to Shenanigans. It's a weekly event, either on a Sunday or Friday. They do either fun stuff like running from Booty Bay to Silver Moon, or doing naked transmog runs to see who can get the best mog by the end of the evening. And then Monday nights is PvP, and we go in there as people who know mechanics but don't always know PvP, or at least I don't know PvP.
Oh man, actually, we might be adding a Saturday PvP now too, because I was talking to somebody else in the guild too about actually having an organized rated BG team. So looks like we're going to be trying to form that between Mondays and Saturday nights now.
Nice.
Because I hate sleep. I hate myself.
Absolutely. Well, and then on the 4th of July, you're recording at 10 p.m. Eastern. And
things we do for the games we love.
Absolutely. And we are also joined by Lady Emma.
Hey everyone.
And Lady Emma is a
crazy cat lady.
Yep, and she makes amazing pies. No, that's Sweeney Todd. Never mind.
No, I got the lock cookies.
Okay, yes, the lock cookies.
But I do make amazing pie as long as the lid of the cinnamon is screwed on tight.
And there are no cats in them, right?
No. Dog, no. No, and I make cakes and cookies and all these lovely treats.
No.
I even have the World of Warcraft cookbook and done a few things out of there.
Oh, those look so good. I've looked at it, but I know I don't have the cooking skill. My skill is cooking with a Wi-Fi crockpot, so that's me.
I have to say
I want one of those.
It's amazing. And I just tell Alexa, oh no, sorry, Alexa, stop. Sorry, if anybody has those, as I call them, Madame A devices, I've got one too. I probably just ordered 1,000 cans of baked beans. Sorry, guys.
Oh my.
Whoops.
Hey, nothing wrong with baked beans. I'm British here. That's one of our staple meal things for every meal is baked beans.
Oh, and
Beans and toast. I got chewed out by my friend from Doncaster. He was like, what do you mean, Erica? You've never had beans and toast?
Well,
I just about died.
Growing up, that's what I had for breakfast. Beans and toast. For lunch, beans and toast. And maybe some tomato soup. For dinner, beans and toast.
I could see that being some good protein. I mean,
It's protein and fiber.
Absolutely.
Oh, and iron. They even have iron because it's usually made with stuff that, I don't know, it has iron.
And now I know why people from Canada and England are so happy all the time. They're pretty regular.
And that's probably where all the fart jokes come from.
Yeah, Monty Python and stuff like that.
So, Siilverbolt, I just have to say I love the fact that you do all these runs and really there for the community with all these events.
Thank you. Yeah, for so many years I've been playing this game, and I've been really missing out on the community. I had some real life friends who played the game, and it was a lot of fun when they were playing, but they've since moved on, and I've tried to move on, and I can't. I love this game so much, and it just gets depressing because I'm like, I want to talk to people about this game. I want to have fun and enjoy this game with other people, and it wasn't until I finally made the move listening to podcasts like Convert to Raid that was just like finally between them and the Morgenthau that pulled me here, and I'm like, I'm going to do this. I'm going to have fun. I'm going to meet new people and just have fun.
You know what? Convert to Raid also got me to move all my tunes over to their server. I'm right now taking a little bit of a break, but I'm hoping in September, if you're still doing all this stuff, that I really want to join.
Absolutely. You're more than welcome. Anybody's more than welcome. Of course, unfortunately, Alliance side, preferably. Because,
Of course.
but if anything, it might not be what it is now, but it will definitely be some form of it by September. You might have to change it up a little bit because I was already feeling like I'm doing too much.
Totally understand, but I saw the Twitter post when you did your first naked run, and I'm like, no, my time just ended, and I was taking a break. No, so I did message you way back the day saying I hope you still do this when I come back.
Absolutely.
Well, and I was reading today about how the people that are truly enjoying leisure time are making it more than just mindlessly playing a game. And I think that's one thing that separates WoW is that there's a community. We're actively creating things.
Absolutely. I mean, there's been so much support for this. So many people have been so happy. It makes me more wanting to do a lot more for this. And I'm putting my name out there. I'm getting to know a lot of these people, and it's very exciting and so much fun on my behalf for that.
Oh, I still remember the evening we were in the Worgen's How group How, and you had put in your application, and during the run you went from being Siilverbolt to Siilverbolt convert to raid Moonfang, and it's amazing now to realize where you went just from that.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, all this came about February or so that I finally pulled the trigger, and I'm like, I'm going to do it. I was afraid to move to convert to raid, so I'm like, I don't raid. I don't have time to put myself out there for a raid team. I feel like I'd be letting people down. And then as I got to learn more from Kaz and Frosty, who are the lead podcasters for Worgen's How, they are in convert to raid, and hearing the stories they were telling me about what convert to raid actually means, I was just like, I can go there. There's nothing holding me back. Like, there's nothing that means I don't have to participate if I don't want to. I can still be a part of the family.
Yeah, yep. I'd say like the only criticism, I mean, just feedback, that it would be the name probably makes people think that if they don't raid, that they can't. But it sounds like it started as Convert to Raid started as a podcast in kind of a group, and then from there they said, hey, let's create a guild. Is that kind of the history, or am I remembering it wrong?
You're somewhat right. What it was is they're originally Horde on Earthen Ring, and they started a podcast, and they had their own little raid group, and then people were kind of bugging them, was like, hey, can we join your guild? And it started to get bigger, and then I think they moved to Area Peaks for the Alliance side, and they weren't expecting the guilds to be like, last time I saw, there was like 9 guilds, and there was over, I don't even remember how many people, but tons, and they were just astonished of how big it got so quick.
Yeah, it was. They were not expecting that at all. The number of people who came over with them who wanted to play over here. I think they were an AIE originally, right? And they broke off.
Yep. They just wanted to try something different, stop being Horde and being Alliance.
Well, and I definitely like the color palette of Alliance better. I tried playing Horde last year, and until I changed to Frazly, there were times I wasn't feeling the game. I mean, it just, for me, the Alliance speaks to me. I love Red, but I'm on the Alliance.
I find the Alliance is kind of a little bit more family-based feel.
Yeah, whereas the one thing I admire about the Horde is I admire that they've overcome so much. Whereas the Alliance is kind of sometimes cushy, we're in our own big forts and all that. And what's the Horde in? They're in huts that they had to put together because everything is hostile to them.
Meanwhile, I'm on my Goblin Warrior taking care of auction house stuff on another server.
Oh man, the gold you make, Siilver. I mean, I've got Trade Skill Master, but I just gotta sit down and use it, because I'm like, look at all the guild you're making. I'm like, wow.
Which is funny because I started raiding Wednesdays and I just watched all my money go bye-bye. Like, I spent so much, and then on top of it, I finally gave up on reposting everything, and so I used all my transmog stuff I was flipping that just hasn't been selling, I finally just decided, all right, I'm just going to use it all now.
Nice. Yeah, for me, I only sell stuff if I don't have the appearance, because for me, I can't let those appearances go.
I totally feel you on that one.
I went from like 600 to 700 repostings to like 250, 300.
Wow. Well, and I had those shirts that we bought, and I think only one sold of those.
Hey, that's better. That's better than the gold you spent to buy it. It was like what, 30 silver?
True, yeah, and the shirt did sell for 300 gold. So you're right. I mean, I had this vendor get a ton of these things a ton of the shirts after they were done, but so he's probably like, what do I do with these shirts now? I've got these shirts.
No wonder mine haven't been selling.
I didn't think of doing that. I just kind of sold them back.
Oh, there is a whole list of vendor stuff. Like you can actually, there's vendor items that people have no clue are on vendors. Granted, I mean, in a way, you're taking advantage of people in that sense, but there's also people out there who know it comes from a vendor, and they just don't care. It's the convenience of running to the auction house versus trying to run to this vendor.
That's true, because some of those vendors aren't easy to get to, or they're time-consuming because there's no direct path to them.
One of the best tips I ever got was selling the cooking materials from Nomi. Not Nomi himself, but the guy behind Nomi. Just selling those on the auction house. So I've been like selling musk and butter for like 4 to 5 gold, and I bought them for like 3 gold.
Wow.
Really? Wow.
Yes. People don't realize that stuff is just there from the vendor. They just go, they immediately look at their crafting log and they're like, oh, I need musk and butter. And they go to the auction house instead of going to like Wowhead and figuring out where does musk and butter come from.
Man,
I'm cheap. If I see it's from a vendor, I go to a vendor.
I think we need a mobile auction house, because then you can make even more money. People just sit at Nomi.
There's a mobile auction house.
Oh, there is?
On the app for your phone.
Well,
Armory app.
I mean, like in game. Can you imagine people being in front of Nomi and be like, hey, I need this. Ka-ching, ka-ching. Okay, I need this. Ka-ching, ka-ching.
Pretty much.
Because I remember, like, the biggest one I ever sold was I sold a fishing pole from some vendor, and I made like a couple hundred gold. I'm like, seriously? I just bought this on this vendor for maybe a couple of copper.
Yep. And we'll see. A couple of the gold makers I follow, one of them had a pretty good tip. Is if you're looking for making money, find the things you hate doing, and go do them. Because there's other people out there who also hate doing those things and will rather buy them off the auction house than go do them yourself.
Yeah, right now will be the boxes, so I can get the stupid reps, so I can get the insane title.
Which boxes are those?
One of the lock boxes. I will look up what it's called. Give me a second.
Yeah, it's I think one of the lock boxes that only a rogue can pick up. Is that right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I think there's a small chance of them dropping, but it's small, and I think you have to pickpocket, 5 for 1. That's the last rep I need, and then I'll have the insane title.
Very cool.
Oh yeah, because I think we discussed this on the hour 1 of the first one. I'm deeply jealous of that insane title. I want that.
I don't have it yet. I'm almost there.
Do you need to be a rogue in order to get that?
No, what I do is I use my rogue to collect the boxes, and then I send it to my main, who's a human, so that she gets a bonus in rep.
Oh, very cool.
Now, the hardest part is me trying to get Exalted with Blood Sail Buccaneers and the Goblin races at the same time. You can do it. It's really difficult.
Oh, man. Yeah, wasn't there a couple of mobs right outside of Booty Bay that you work on? We were just talking about that on Friday night. No, Sunday night.
That's fireworks. I kept hearing this booming sound. I'm like, is it something going on with my audio? Oh, yeah. 4th of July fireworks. So if anybody hears booming sounds on the audio, that's just fireworks.
Okay, they're heavy junk box.
Heavy junk box.
Yeah.
Cool.
I'm pretty sure they'll be really expensive on the auction house because it is time consuming. Apparently, you need a total of 4,200 and they do not stack.
Oh my. Sounds like ogre beats all over again.
Oh, no. I actually read that wrong. That's how many kills you need, apparently. Because
That's better.
You kill first in the beginning, and then once you get to a certain point, you can't continue on, and then you need the boxes. It's 1,405 boxes.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I'm just looking at one of the comments on Wowhead from 2017. They said, just got the title. This is how much time I spent getting these boxes. Total time was 596, and total drops was 1,280. I'm like, wow.
Yeah, I just kept on running the dungeon over and over, and by the time I've looted everyone, I would have 17 boxes, but that would take me like probably 10 minutes. And so by the time I finish looting the last one, if I go to the very beginning of the dungeon again, I can pickpocket them all.
Oh man.
So it took me quite a while, and like I said, I stopped because you can only do it for so long. And I do push to talk, so it's not like I can talk to someone while doing it, because if you mess up, then you accidentally lose your stealth, and then you have to kill them.
And is that one a daily reset?
No, no, because you can do it on normal and just keep resetting it. I'm trying to think of the dungeon. It's the one where the entrance for not Molten Core, but the other raid.
Blackwing Lair?
Yeah, so just before you go into Blackwing Lair, that lower, that one is the one that you get the lock boxes from.
Oh, crazy.
But I'm now looking at another walkthrough that someone has done, and it looks like there is a few extra places that I can... lower Blackrock Spire.
Okay.
But there is some places, the Greenkill Coast, which is on Quenelle Daenerys, is where you can also get some. Apparently someone got 120 to 180 for an hour of farming.
That's not too bad. I mean, considering everything. I mean, that just sounds to me, if it's not that bad to go do that, like, I remember farming out Netherwing eggs nonstop for like 8 days straight to get my Netherwing drinks when they were released.
Oh, I remember doing that.
I was like one of very few people who had the drink within like the first, I think some people might have done it in as early as 5 days, but I think I pulled that mine off in about 8 to 9.
I got it a year, like the next expansion. So when Lich King came out is when I farmed for it. And when I first did it, and I could only pick one drake, I'm like, what? No, I want them all. And then found out after I get the one that I can buy the rest.
Yeah, exactly. I actually did it on 3 tunes and probably did the race on another friend as well because he could not, oh my gosh, that guy totally pissed him off, tilted him so bad, he said, you do it.
Yeah, I had to let my best friend come over and use my computer because she had the most laggiest computer ever. And then when she did on my computer, she's like, oh, it wasn't that bad.
Yeah. Was it Captain Sky Reaver? Captain... can't remember his name now.
But I think that would be a good gold money if you have the time and you're doing that dungeon to pick up those lock boxes. Or heavy junk box.
All right, it's not a bad idea.
Yeah.
Right.
Then they're not stackable, so they will be individual. And to hand them in, you need 5.
right, definitely keep that in mind. Right now, I'm working on trying to get a mount to match my new pet.
Oh, I really want to get that yellow murloc. I actually got the stuffy as a gift, so I need to get the in-game pet when I come back.
Nice. Have you gotten your Sun Darter hatchling?
No, I haven't.
If you don't know, and for anybody listening and any other CTR Guildie friends and family, so you don't have to be in CTR, I know I've got somebody who is leveling a Death Knight to come get it, but I have kits thanks to Frazly, Sprout, Theodetta, and a couple others who have been sending me materials for all those consumables you need for the quest to go get the Sun Darter hatchling, to do all the little tricks and tips and things that you have to eat certain potions and do certain things in order to get through the puzzles to get to the Sun Darter hatchling at the end of the cave. So we worked together and collected up basically quote unquote kits. So I can send you one of those, and all you got to do is go get like the Gordok Ogre suit. There's the Dark Iron Ale mug or whatever it is out of Blackrock Depths, and there's like one other thing that you have to get yourself because it's BOP, and the rest of the stuff is just consumables that you can buy off the auction house for about 20k, all done and told. So it'll save you that much.
I still need to work on getting my potions up. Between like school and different things, I've been sidetracked on that.
I need to go do the thing on another character because I gave mine away. You can only do it once per character, so.
Aw.
I did it. That's part of everything that I've done for the events that I've been hosting. I've been giving away pets as prizes, and that was one of the prizes.
Aw, that was really sweet of you.
Thank you. Yeah, it's just kind of just something fun to do. Maybe save somebody the trip and hassle of doing it.
Yeah, I remember for the one for the mount that you have to go out to all these different locations to read a book.
Oh, yeah, the Riddler's Mindworm. We did that too.
Yeah. My boyfriend was a little lazy, and same with our other friend. So I basically had it already on my computer, and I'm like, okay, we're going here, we gotta go here, go to this portal, it'll be a lot quicker. And got them to go everywhere. And what the great thing is, you do have to go into Molten Core for that. So if you want any loot, great place to go.
Yeah, we actually tacked that onto, we did Firelands and for achievements and stuff like that on one of the Morgenhall group hall events. And since we cleared it out, we were like, well, why don't we just go do the Riddler's Mindworm while we got this place cleared.
Nice.
Yeah, so plus Kaz runs a mage, so we have portals to go everywhere.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, we took care of everything. So there's some pictures posted on the Morgenthau page, I believe, if not on their Discord, of us getting all of our mindworms.
Yeah, the person who discovered that was great on them.
Oh my god, the Secret Finders Discord is amazing. I happen to be friends on Twitter with somebody who had just started into it. He shared like a tweet of what was going on, so I jumped into the Discord, and sure enough, like I basically followed the whole day of them cracking the code to get the Sun Darter. It was so cool watching it in action.
I'm just amazed at who at Blizzard designs these, and then who finds these. I mean, it's kind of like hacks and like and exploits and anything. You're like, how does someone know if you do it this way? But does data mining take some of the guesswork out?
I think, yeah. In some cases, a lot of people that utilize the data mining for like flavor text and other things like that. Past that, though, a lot of it's just searching the world and finding stuff. Like somebody was like, "Hey, there's this really weird cave on the north end of Winterspring," and they're like, "Hey, what the heck is this in here?" And just the whole crowdsourcing to figure it all out was pretty cool. And the person behind at least part of that one was Muffinous, because the one part of the quest to get the Sun Darter hatchling is I'm trying to think what it said. It was my maker wants the most amusing heir or something like that, and it's basically you have to get the princess costume on the Perky Pug. to get past that guy.
Nice.
Oh. Yeah, other stuff like that, like hen stuff. I remember April Fool's Day, someone actually counted all the little pebbles in Dalaran, in the new Dalaran, and made a map of it. And people are like, well, what are you doing? It's like, nothing, I'm just making little pebbles. Well, the thing with the pebbles is if you go to your garrison with that pebble and you apparently can give it to your garrison dog, he will now be in Dalaran.
Oh, I forgot to go do that. I haven't done that yet.
Yeah, I haven't done it either. And then that dog followed you technically from Miss of Pandaria.
Interesting.
It's from the farm, I think.
Yeah. So this little dog is following you around. Now, if only if I can bring that cat from my farm with me, I'll be even happier.
I still need to do the farm. All this stuff. Like, it... I like all the solo stuff. I mean, all the stuff where it makes you feel like you're actually in the world.
Well, one thing that kind of peeved me off is with that farm, you used to get a card for the Brawlers Guild. Now, I got it on my alt, but I couldn't get it on my main, so I missed out on the achievement when they got rid of it.
Is it the invitation or just a card for the Brawlers Guild?
Just a card, so you can have a certain brawl. So my DK could do it, but my main, who had all the rest, couldn't. So when it became a feat of strength, I didn't get it. And they're like, well, you know, how achievements shouldn't matter which tune you do it on. You should have them. Well, that one kind of like, no, it doesn't work.
Yeah, I think sometimes Blizzard likes to add things that are gone in a way. It's something I struggle with because there's a lot of things that I want in WoW that I can no longer get.
Which feat of strength is it?
I have to double check. Because it's one collecting all the Brawlers cards.
Oh yeah, I probably definitely do not have that.
Yeah.
To get one of them, you had to do Pet Battle, be a rare in Iceland, Ice Ground. Not land, Ice Ground.
Iceland too, it's in the north.
Pretty much.
There are pet battles inside of Ice Crown Citadel?
No, but there's three pets in there.
Wow.
There's one off of the Lich King, and I'm trying to remember the other two.
Oh, the drops. Okay, the raiding with leashes. Yeah.
Futureside has one.
Good evening, everyone. Or good news, everyone.
3.
I've got a pet drop.
And a new turtle today.
Nice. Which one?
It was a rare spawn from Siilver that somebody said he had happened to be killing turtles in an area and said, hey, any hunters want to come grab this? So I'm like, oh, me. It's the pretty blue one with the spikes on his back.
Nice.
Okay. Yeah, nice.
Yeah, so I ran over there and tamed him, and I was hoping to get the Azure Drake, which is one of the missing drakes that I have. Like, as soon as I get the Azure Drake, I also get the green Awake the Drakes. I'm like,
nice.
So close.
I still need.
And that's for the pets or the mounts?
Mounts. I'm talking about hunter pets, and the match, because the blue turtles have like runes, blue glowing runes all over them. They look very much like the Azure Drake with the runes all over him. If you haven't figured out from my Naked Transmog raids yet, I like to match like pets, mini pets, mounts, transmogs. Like I seriously got these turtle pets. Immediately used the essence swapper to turn Hottie into look like the turtle. Found a mount that matched, and then hopped on my Mammoth and changed my transmog to match.
Nice.
Very nice.
And now I'm looking at, do I want to run with him or another pet? And then I got to change my mog again.
I need to still save up money to get that, or gold, to get the transmount mount.
Yak?
Yes. I definitely need it.
How far away are you from it?
I have enough. I just like to have a cushy. Can't say that word. A nest egg. There we go.
Yeah, that'll work. If you ever want to run stuff, I know there's some tips and tricks for running AQ20 without killing any of the first bosses. You circle around, kill all the mobs, and you have a chance at getting some pretty awesome transmog items that sell for a lot. And one of the big ticket ones is the, I think, Cloud Stalker leg plates. Those are like 20 to 50K, somewhere in that range, depending on your server.
Well,
I'm on the same server as you.
Sure.
And
I don't know.
one of the people that I read sometimes is the Gold Queen. She has some good tips sometimes.
Oh, I follow her too. Yeah, I love her stuff.
I'm on her Patreon because I was like, hey, I get access to all of her stuff. I'm like, it can't beat that. I mean,
I actually pulled. I gotta get in touch with Shin from Your Wall Gold. Him and oh my God, mind blank. The two of them, they finished off their show recently, just to move on to bigger and better things. And so Shin's been doing his own little things called Shin's Tales of Gold, and just little tips. And you can jump in and follow him on his stream as he just does some basic gold making and answers questions about TSM. And he's actually, my Naked Transmog raids and other events actually pulled him over to Airy Peak here, so he might be running some fun stuff with us when our times line up right, because he's also in the UK.
Nice. I think one day WoW will just be convert to raid.
That's what I was just thinking. It's like all the other servers are not going to exist. It's all going to be Area Peak, and it's all going to be one giant guild family called Convert to Raid.
Right.
Because like I had some differences in my former guild's great. And they're great. I just had some differences and all that. And then when I was looking for a new home, I was like, convert to raid. I gotta go there.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. You'd be surprised though the number of people who play this game. I mean, like, even though like Convert to Raid is one of the largest guilds in the game, right next to AIE on the Horde side, there are other really not equally big, but huge guilds out there. I've got a friend on I don't know if she's on a PvP server or not, but she's on a Horde guild. It's not AIE, but it's also really big, organized.
On Hyjal? Yeah, Hyjal is another one that has a lot of Horde players.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm trying to remember which one she's on.
Who's in Life on Wormrest Accord. It's a Horde guild, and they're one of the progression guilds. Though everyone, don't forget the biggest guild, and out there is Twitch chat. Back when they were doing the ranks and all that, somebody showed me a list of all the guilds that were progressing on Mythics, and the top one, and number one was. It was called, the guild was Twitch Chat on Twitch-US. I was like, there's a guild called Twitch Chat. My friend said, no. Twitch thinks that they know everything, so of course they've already beaten all the... I was like, oh.
Oh, man.
Yeah, all this talk about World of Warcraft makes me want to grab the time card that I have and just put it on. And I'm like, no. There's still 2 months left of summer.
Well, and speaking of that, that's probably a good segue. Since we don't have War Chief here, now would be a good time to talk about Pokemon Go and Pokemon.
Alrighty.
So Siilver, if I remember right, you are a Pokemon Go player.
Former.
Okay. Any interest in coming back?
I have my issues with it. Yeah, my interest in coming back is them turning Pokestops back on over 20 miles per hour would be my coming back to them.
That would be nice.
Yeah.
I am guilty. I will raise my hand. I am guilty of playing while driving. However, I have a caveat to that. I use the Plus device. So
Same.
All I have to do is my finger vibrates, I press a button. I don't have to pay attention to it at all. And so I live in a neighborhood that's got stops everywhere. Like I would use the Plus device at work all day, getting just crap Pokemon because you're only throwing regular Pokeballs, and just racking up XP and candy, and then getting lots of points on my follower and my friend. And then I would just hit stops on my way home and rebuild back up my Pokeballs and items. And then they stopped working one day. And I found out why, and I said, I'm done.
I don't blame you.
For me, I'm on transit. I don't drive. And so usually the Pokestops are on the way into the station. And at the station is where the gyms are.
Oh, on the gyms, you can now spin the photo disc.
Yeah, I realize that now, but that's a new thing. Before you couldn't.
Yeah, well, I'm with you because there was one time I was in South Dakota and I broke my my daily Pokestop streak because we went out somewhere, but the only thing I could find was a gym and no Pokestops.
So apparently I'm level 18 and there's a raid in 20 minutes, but it looks like it's going to be about a 15-minute walk from where I am.
Yeah, and I don't like doing raids way too late at night.
That's just the dark alley in Chicago meme all over again.
Yeah. Well, I do always wonder, like, when I got to get a Pokestop, I'm like, does somebody else know I'm here?
Yeah. The nice part that they're turning that coin to be able to spin. Do you get the same stuff you get as a Pokestop from a gym?
Yes.
I believe so.
And you sometimes get raid passes and raid items sometimes.
Oh, that's new stuff I have no clue about, but that's actually pretty cool because my work is a gym.
Well, and one of the fun things is for every gym you visit and spin the disc, you get a badge. So it's like a travel log of every place you've been to. I was hoping they would add that for Pokestops, and maybe they'll add that. But at least it's now like when I want to stop at gyms now to get it. There was one morning though, it was raining hard, and I was like, because I knew I wouldn't be able to get it with my plus on the way to work because of the speed limiting. I actually went to a Pokestop, sat in front of this business, and I'm like, yeah, sorry, I'm out of your business trying to get this Pokestop.
I went into a neighborhood's apartment building complex parking lot to get a Snorlax.
Nice.
I was guilty of using not PokeWare, but one of the PokeRadar devices before apps before they killed it, and
it was such a useful app. I think they should have allowed it.
It was awesome for like tracking down stuff specifically, like finding it. And I happened to drive past. I was watching the radar, and I drove past. I was like, Snorlax, and like turned around real quick and like found it. And I'm like, oh my god, there it is.
Yeah.
For me, I was in England, and because England, Australia, and Canada all have 3 Pokemon.
You got a Mr. Mime, didn't you?
I did. And here's the thing. I was 2 days left of my trip. I was there for 2 weeks, my second last day, and I'm like, there's no way I'm going to find one at all. And I was in the bathroom, at the Science Museum out there, and I just happened to turn on Pokemon Go, and there was a Mr. Mime in the bathroom stall with me.
Nice.
So now I know why I never could find a Mr. Mime before, because apparently they like to be in the bathroom stalls.
Creepers.
Totally. And according to the guy of how they are, apparently it's a really good Mr. Mime too.
Nice. I remember being in Florida, and my sister was trying to get Magikarp, and so we walked all around Florida at all the different water parks and things like that, or water stops. But we were there trying to get the Magikarp, and she finally got it. I got a Gyarados, because she was kept catching it every Magikarp she saw, and she got a Gyarados by the end of the trip.
Nice. Yeah, Vancouver has a lot of Magikarps, so that's not a problem. But Vancouver has Tauros. That's our Pokemon here.
Nice. I think ours is like Pidgeys and Rattatas.
Pretty much.
The special one in Australia is Kangaskhan.
Oh, nice.
Yep.
So, each place has a unique one for them.
Yeah, and then Japan was... What was Japan? What was Japan again?
I am pulling it up now.
It was Mr. We have Taurus in North America. Mr. Mime was in the Europe.
Europe.
Kangaskhan was in Australia, and I'm trying a mind blank on it now too. Farfetched. And he had the leak.
Yeah. Okay, Farfetch, Mr. Mime, Taurus, and Kangaskhan from the first generation. The second generation is Heracross and Carlosa. And I'm going to see where they're from.
Oh, that's right. Gen 2 came out.
Okay, so South America has Heracross, and Africa has the Coral.
Crazy. And it's funny because I don't remember Gen 2, I don't remember the Pokemon that much, but I played the crap out of Gold and Silver. The day Silver was released, I went to Best Buy and got it, and I just played the crap out of it.
I'm actually really sad. I went to go play my Silver and Gold the other day, and I had all the Pokemon on them, including Mew, by the way.
Nice.
And apparently the battery died, and I lost all my progress, everything.
Oh, the little mini battery in the game?
Yeah, you have to, which I didn't know at the time, but you have to plug it into a Game Boy to recharge that battery constantly before it dies. And then eventually the battery just dies and it won't hold a charge, and then you can't really play it. I think I bought 3 cartridges off of eBay, not knowing that the batteries were dead in them, because they didn't disclaim it.
I didn't know they had batteries.
The yellow, blue, and red, and the original green do not have batteries in them. And then the ones that came out in the DS don't have batteries in them because they base the time clock off of your actual Game Boy. But for all the other games in between, from Silver to Leaf Green, I believe, are all the ones that with batteries.
Wow. And
Yeah, it's just...
I have every single game, FYI.
It was to save the your game data.
And
It was game data and the clock in the game, because certain Pokemon evolve during daytime, some evolve during night.
well, and I've always wondered, why does it erase its content if it's removed? I had a Pokemon Yellow that I had gotten everything through, and I even used a Game Shark or whatever it was called to get Surfing Mew or Surfing Pikachu, and but everything else I'd beat a gym for, and somebody, I'm playing the game like, oh, I just beat the last gym. So somebody in the front of the car wants to see it. They impulsively reach over, pull my Game Boy out, and it ends up taking the cartridge out, and everything's gone. Why did it do that?
Yeah, if they didn't properly shut it down before they eject the cartridge, it corrupts the cartridge.
Oh. Okay, so it's the save data, right?
Yeah, so the save game itself is now corrupted, so it won't work.
Oh, okay. Because I then didn't play Pokemon for the longest time until I got Silver and Gold. Because I can never play Pokemon Yellow again. It's ingrained to me that it's a
sore spot. It's a very sore spot.
Absolutely. Because in fact, I beat everything. I mean, so I don't need to play it because I beat everything. But
the friendship moves. Yeah, it's a sore spot.
And
do I even want to know?
I just kind of took a break from the game and decided that I'm never going to really play this game again, and I don't have friends to play with. I don't raid. I'm never going to get the moves, and so I just wrote it off. And I came back to the game, and everybody had their moves, and I didn't, and I'm kicking myself over and over again. But you know what? It is what it is.
Oh
yeah, there's a lot of things in World of Warcraft. I am upset because I wasn't able to do it for whatever reason and it's now gone. Same thing with Pokemon, where they have special events to get special Pokemon, but 9% of those ones you can't get unless you're in Japan. Or do competition, which I sometimes I understand why they do it because it's supposed to be rare, but it kind of hurts.
Yeah, and then again, I played for Vanilla, left for quite a bit just because of life and stuff. Came back for Cataclysm, left again. So there's so many things until last year when I came back that I don't get. So Friendship Moose, I almost ran out of time. I mean, it was like I got it days before it closed up, and only because of a lottery. So it was one of those. I waited. I was up to like 1 or 2 in the morning watching a Twitch stream of Zels, and I finally got it. But I mean, I'm with you. There's so much in this game I want.
Yeah. That's like not buying any of the trading card game cards at the time that they were popular. You know, like at that time, you're like kicking yourself. Now you're like, I could have had those mounts, and all I had to do was spend like $3 at a time for a pack, or even actually buying the cards themselves when they were probably $50 a pop.
Yeah,
I'm actually quite lucky that I do have pretty much a lot of the pets from those cards, but none of the mounts.
Those are. Yeah, as I say, the pets are really easy to get. They're not that expensive. The mounts themselves, that's a lot. Unless Blizzard increases the gold cap, they can't go higher than like 9,999,999 gold.
Yeah, people sell them on the eBay, and then there's a couple card websites.
I may have bought a rooster for $275.
Wow!
But it was a good card. The code was good.
What? I am jealous. I like the rooster, and I was like, I would like to have the rooster, but my funds are really restricted. So if I have funds and I can spend it on stuff, I try to spend it on stuff that they make.
That's a good call.
Yeah, and there's a lot of people I follow on Twitter that make these wonderful, beautiful stuff, either crocheting, knitting, sculpting, and drawing even. They're such phenomenal artists out there.
Oh, absolutely. Like the time that I probably spent that kind of money was time that I wasn't quite involved in the communities that I am involved in now. I have a lot of friends. I've kind of gravitated towards the furry community because I'm into cosplay, costume making, that kind of thing. And the friends that I've gained, they're fursuit makers. And it's just amazing the skill that they have that they put into sculpting the heads and creating these creatures and bringing them to life. It's so cool. And a lot of them are very talented drawing artists, too. So that's brought me into that kind of crowd as well, which only just mirrors right into the World of Warcraft community and the Blizzard community.
Oh, yeah.
I was just going to mention my sister. She's an artist, and I've seen her, the time she spends on any artistic thing is hours and hours of work, even though it's really good, even if she did like only half the time, but they're perfecting it. Each time they do something, they're perfecting it. And it can take them up to a couple of weeks to get that piece perfect in their eyes.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry. Go on.
No, you're fine. I was kind of going along with you, like just amazing the work. I mean, we have a board game festival every year called Origins, and one time I went to see what my sister, because she does miniatures, like kind of like sail. Their game's called Sail Power, and it's like miniature ship battles based off of history. It actually was really cool. So I went there one year to see their booth. As I'm leaving the event hall, they were having a furry. It was like the furry hour. Everyone coming over showing their costumes. There was one costume that my brain was like, that's. It kept telling my brain kept telling myself that costume's not a costume. That's because it was so lifelike. I was like, wow, that person made it look like they were actually that animal. I was like, I was impressed.
That's cool. I do chainmail as a hobby, and I've been a little bit down on like having been wanting to do it. I haven't had a lot of interest on my stuff for commissions and things like that. So it's just kind of like kills the mood a little bit for wanting to do it. But a lot of my personal work that I've done, I have an entire scale mail suit of armor that I made, including a dragon head that I wear to Bristol, to the local Renaissance fairs, other Renaissance fairs I've gone to. It's a quick and easy Halloween costume. It's a quick costume for just about anything. And then I just basically jump right into the furry community, going to all the conventions and just having so much fun, being a character. It's so cool.
Oh, yeah.
Plus, I like the attention.
My one sister, I've got three, so they all do different things, but the one sister who does the sail power, they also work at the Ren Fair, and it's amazing. They work on pewter jewelry, and so I see both what they do, and then I hear about stuff like the chainmail. It's just amazing, all the skill.
Oh, it's a lot of fun. You were saying, Lady Emma, that you bake a lot. What other stuff did you do again?
I do crocheting. I bake. I cook. I do lots of stuff. Right now, my sister kind of conned me into making, Snuggies, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so it's kind of like a Snuggie, but it's a princess dress.
Interesting. Yeah.
So I started working on the yellow one that's supposed to represent like Belle's dress, but the yellow that I was using, which was leftover stock from another thing I made, I ran out. And so I thought, I'll just go pick up some from the store. Well, they discontinued it. I bought this this yarn 2 years ago.
Oh no.
So it looks like I can buy it online. So I'm probably going to buy it online so I can at least finish this one piece. But it's a nice lemon yellow, where all the other yellows I'm looking at is either a little bit orange or it's like a more pastel. It's not as vibrant.
Oh, man.
So while I'm waiting for yarn for that, I'm starting the other one, which is a Cinderella dress. So right now I've just worked on the dark blue, and then there's going to be white and light blue added. I just haven't picked up the yarn for it yet.
Yeah, that's one of the biggest things when it comes to stuff like fursuit making is you want to buy all your fur in one shot because of that exact reason. Is there's different dyes, different lots that come out. Same thing with chainmail and chainmail rings. I work a lot in anodized aluminum, so if you have a big project, they highly recommend you buy your rings all at once because of the differences from stock to, from batch to batch.
Thankfully, with yarn now, which I have noticed, as long as you get the same one that you same make and everything, you can have different dye batch because it's all computerized dyed.
Oh, nice.
But if you get, let's say, a more private, smaller yarn company, then yeah, you're going to definitely have variety of shades, and then that's when you're going to focus. But I'm using Red Heart, and it's a big company. And then the other one I use is Bennett. And that one I use a lot because I get the chunky one because it's a size 6, and it makes crocheting so much easier when you're doing big projects.
Oh, nice.
So the dye, it kind of reminds me of like the Coke machines where you can get the whatever flavor you want. So instead of Coke, it's on-demand dye. That's cool.
And here's just something that I randomly looked at the WoW TCG loot cards, and I went to Ending Soon. Apparently, the blue Murloc egg is $3,000, and it ends in 13 minutes.
But no, I'm kidding.
Oh my!
I don't have 13.
Well, it's like looking up. You just get depressed if you look up the very first BlizzCon, the big Blizzard Bear. That card or that loot code is like over $1,000 easy.
Oh, now, here's something funny about that.
You had one or access
no,
to
I don't have one. I don't have access, but I know people. And apparently Blizzard still has a whole bunch in their place, apparently.
I don't doubt it.
And they usually give it out to their employees if you've been there for a certain amount of time.
That's cool.
But this is like third person hearsay.
I don't doubt it. I absolutely don't doubt it at all.
Well, and if you think about it, it's just a code in their system. So I mean, if they truly wish to, they can reprint more codes.
Exactly, and not only that too. I wouldn't be surprised if that might make its appearance on the black market auction house. If you've got 1.5 million to drop on a unclaimed black market box.
Yeah.
But there's also a certain amount that you can put in there because you have to increase it by 5%, isn't it?
I've never ran it before, never done it. I've been too afraid to drop money in there.
I've done it a few times on lower items that I know is not going to sell and it's going to be a pain to farm.
Nice.
Yeah, I bought a pet on the black market, and out of all the ones that I've put bids on, one actually sold. So it is pretty cool. And this gets into one thing that I like about WoW. Even with all these items that you can't get, it's way better than Elder Scrolls Online.
Oh yeah, I haven't played since. What's the difference there?
Well, so they had the cash shop when they introduced free to play, and they would put like cosmetics and things, and they would then have like limited time things that would go away. So everyone was like, okay, you just got to make sure you have a little bit of money set aside each month to buy this. Well, then they said, oh, and by the way, now we're going to have loot boxes. So you're paying a sub for ESO Plus, you're buying whatever limited time sale, then you're also buying loot boxes, and the loot boxes, you aren't guaranteed anything in the loot box, and then there are things that aren't available anywhere except loot boxes, and they, from what I understand, they have not put more collectible cosmetics in the game, so you get some things in the game whenever they release an expansion, but there's not near the same amount of stuff as in WoW. So what you're really trying to get to make yourself look any different is cosmetics from the cash shop.
Oh man. It gets a little frustrating and annoying when a lot of items become, the whole fight over pay to play, pay to win type of game systems, and it gets really frustrating. Like, I used to play a game called Gunbound, if you've ever heard of it, way back, like we're talking 15 years ago or something like that. It was a fun, almost like Worms Armageddon type game. And you used to have items that you would actually, farm up the gold and get and buy these items. And I took a break from the game for some years, and I decided to go back to it for other reasons. And I had an item I got from a friend of mine, and a lot of the items, they turned into limited time only. So you would save up this gold, spend the gold on an item, and you can use this item for the next 6 days before it goes away. It's like, what the heck is this crap?
Someone had explained that if the game was more Eastern-based, or at least was appealing to an Eastern-based market, that because of the internet cafes, people are willing to spend a little bit more to get things for even a limited time. That's why the WoW token in Taiwan is so expensive.
Oh man, this is crazy.
Well, they also have a different system where we have a month for those tokens to use. They have a time-based, I believe, for theirs.
Wow.
So if they do so many hours, that will take up their tokens, because their internet is paid by the minute.
Okay. Yikes.
Oh man.
So that's why those internet cafes are actually a lot better for them, because most of them can, hey, I can afford 2 or 3 hours. All right. So that token's going to be worth 3 or 4 hours.
And then that's probably why they game for a long period of time. You use up all the time that they have, whereas we're AFKing, we're tabbing out of the game. Oh, what are you doing? Oh, I'm just sitting inside a WoW.
Yeah, we're spoiled by doing AFK.
Yeah. Oh yeah, cause I see Ghost is playing World of Warcraft, Siilver is playing World of Warcraft, and if I look on the CTR site, yep, World of Warcraft.
Pretty much, yeah. I'm actually knocking out all the PvP world quests right now. I'm doing the bareback brawl. I've got a ram. I'm just running into things and knocking things off.
Oh, that one's fun. I need to do that one again because there's an achievement for that.
Yep, that's one of the ones you got to do 20 of each.
Nice.
I did the Blacker Cold earlier today. Actually, I wonder how many I have right now.
I am trying to get, when I was playing, Prestige 2, because Prestige 2 unlocks the purple coloring of my Warlock weapon. But the thing is, they word it in such a way that it says it's Prestige 1 that unlocks it. But no. In reality, it's Prestige 2.
If you want to do PvP, starting Monday nights, and looks like I might be adding Saturday nights now, 6 p.m. server time to about 8 p.m. server time. We're trying to do rated battlegrounds. We haven't won any yet. We're a bunch of nubs, but we're getting there. We actually had a pretty good team. We were fairly well coordinated. We actually had like healers, which the first time we did, we're like, wait, we need healers?
You're making me really, really put that time card into the game right now.
Oh, I forget. I'm so sorry. I keep forgetting.
It's okay. It's my own torture. I try to do it every summer. Usually it's not this long because I kind of started it in April. I usually start it in May, and then, when the weather starts going bad. Because I try to enjoy as much sun as I can. As Vancouver, 90% of the time it's raining. So if it's not raining, it's like I need to be out in the good weather.
Good call.
Yeah, well, and that way you enjoy the game much more. I think I got it back into the game. I had not played a lot last week, and then I get back in the game on Sunday, and the game felt more alive. So I think when you don't play the game for a little bit, it seems more vivid.
And then you really know who your family is in the game, because they'll be like so excited that, yay, you're back.
Absolutely, and now it's cool to know that you and I are in the same guild.
I was kind of surprised. I was playing with somebody randomly. Did my PvP night last night and got somebody to join with us and play with us. And I was super surprised. They've been in the guild for a little while now, and they felt like, aside from the welcome they got when they joined the guild, they felt like there wasn't a lot of engagement on their path. And I was just kind of taken aback by it, because I've just seen nothing but engagement left and right. And not to say anything against him, like he missed it or anything like that, but just to be aware that there's people out there, with the guild so large as CTR, that they feel lost in the crowd. And I like to try, when I see somebody taking interest or somebody who might be a little bit more on the shy side, like to engage them and bring them into things like, you are welcome, you are like wanted to be here. I want you to make you feel like you are part of this, that you're not just a person fuzzy in the background, while the rest of us are in focus, to say a line from a song I know.
Well,
I think what actually kind of helps is if you're on the Twitter community as well.
Oh my God, yes.
Yeah.
I know not lately, but probably just before this expansion, since they switched over to Discord, I found Discord makes it really hard to connect. When they had Mumble, it was, I don't know, I found random people. There was always people in group party 4, and we just randomly chatted and did stuff together. So
on Mumble?
On Mumble. And I felt that was a little bit more welcoming than Discord is like, oh, I don't know if I can just pop into that channel and say hi, unless you're in the lounge.
Yeah, I would agree with you on that, because I had a Final Fantasy 14 guild that had a Mumble, and I could just at any time pop into Mumble, and then if they ever needed to group, they would go down to one of the other groups, but then they would come back up to Mumble.
I missed the Mumble boat. I went pretty much straight from Ventrilo over here, and I can't say what the difference is between Discord and Mumble, but Discord's been pretty awesome. Unfortunately, there's just so many channels, so many pages. Like, I don't even know what to call each of these groups, and then each group has so many channels to keep track of. Like, if by all means you want my attention, please at Siilverbolt or tag me in a message to me, and I would definitely respond.
Yeah.
Same here, which is Lady_Emma on Twitter.
I try to grab people as much as possible and try to bring them in or tag them directly and try to. I'm always afraid to use the at everyone or at here, but yeah. Frazly, are you playing WoW right now?
No, I was mentioning about the VHS.
Oh, I see that. There you go. Yep.
And one thing that I was thinking of, and I'm using this analogy not to discuss religion, but more the idea of it. Sometimes in a Christian church, there are small churches where everybody knows each other. Then there are large megachurches. And what I've heard is at a megachurch, you have to find a group. So Convert to Raid is like a megachurch with small groups in it. And I think that is one of the keys. Sometimes it can be hard. I mean, and it can be scary. But know that it's okay to talk to people, Convert to Raid or whatever guild you're in. It's okay to talk to people. Say, hey, are you available this time to this time? I mean, it does take stepping out a little bit and knowing that unless the person is is busy, they'll probably say, hey, I can definitely hang out with you, or we hang out this time.
What I really like is I'll do a random dungeon or something, and there'll be Convert to Raid people, and we'll just say, hey, you're in such an awesome guild, and then they realize you are too.
Yeah.
Nice.
Well, and I like in Convert to Raid that there's that kind of small in-guild rivalry. I mean, like the achievement things. I mean, it's fun to know that there are smaller groups inside of Convert to Raid.
Well, the great thing is you have a tune in almost every single one of their guilds, and then you get all their benefits from the guild vendor.
Yeah. I want someday I want an Omen character.
Yeah, I was asking because they just did a recent purge, and I'm like, so does this mean I can move my tune to the OG guild?
I'm probably, because I forgot to tell someone that I'm not going to be around, I probably got purged.
It'd be really easy to get back in, no problem. I gotta go talk to somebody about getting Siilverbolt up in ranks because I've got 2 other tunes in the guild, so I got 3 total. They got their upgrades to officer rank, but Siilverbolt hasn't yet. I kind of missed them.
Nice. I had the raider rank, but I am kind of actively looking for a raid team, especially when I come back. The raid team I was on, we had issues and we separated. And then I absolutely love Facepole. They are an awesome raid team, very positive, very friendly. The only thing is they are mythic later level raiders, which I know I'm not quite that hardcore. I like to see content. I'm perfectly happy with heroic. So that was the only reason why we didn't really mesh, but I still talk to everyone on that raid team. They're always happy, they're always positive, and they gladly love helping other people.
I absolutely agree. I got a chance to run with Facepole, and they were so much fun, such a riot to run with. But I just can't do their raid nights, which is what, Thursdays and Tuesdays and Thursdays?
Yeah.
Yeah, it just wasn't happening.
The other group that I really like is wow, the name just went out of my head. The COD Squad. There we go.
Yes.
Their biggest motto is leave no man behind. So even if you think you're not that great of a player, or that maybe people are carrying you and you feel bad, no, this is the whole point of the COD Squad is even if you don't think you're at par, that's fine. Okay, we wipe a whole bunch of times. Who cares? Oh, look, we didn't meet the timer for the mythic dungeons. Who cares? The whole point is having fun.
Absolutely, and that's like where my PvPs jumped in like there too. Like we weren't winning much, but we're learning. We got a lot of people here who are mostly raiders or regular players who don't play PvP. They're mostly regular PvEs, and so it's just like something kind of fun for them to do in a relaxed environment where they're not getting berated or feeling like they're that sucky of a player in PvP. It's like it's okay. We're all learning here. But I actually just joined in with a raid team. We're doing one night a week on Wednesday nights, jumping in with Tappa. I think he might have dropped out of Convert to Mythic, and so what's happening, he kind of created his own little thing where one night a week, we're going to be doing heroic TOS. So I'm pretty excited to be on that team. We're considered for that team. It's pretty cool.
Is Tatfa the Asparagus Initiative, or is that a different one? Because I know that person dropped out of Convert to Mythic, I think.
That'd be Tatfa.
Okay. And
well, maybe when I come back in September is kind of my goal date, if I can last that long. That team or some other raid team doesn't mind me tagging along. Like I said, Heroic is pretty much my level. I wouldn't mind being carried in Mythic. I'll do my best to hold my side, but like I said, I don't have the time. I have life, I have work, and this is a game, and I want it to be fun.
Absolutely. I joined up with them. They're a one night a week heroic team, so that's fantastic. I was like, I almost felt, for the time that I have, I almost felt that running a normal or even LFR was just like, it's not worth my time, my very limited time. I want something that's worthwhile. And it turns out that actually, so doing the heroic one night a week, I'm like, this is perfect. This is everything I wanted, everything I needed. And I'm running with some pretty awesome, well-geared people who know what they're doing. Not that I'm going to get carried, I'm going to pull my own weight, but I'm running with people who know what they're doing. And their goal was even better too, is that their goal is to get people to have fun and other people to join in and just help them out, help them get gear, help them enjoy this game and see the content. So that was really cool. There's definitely other teams too. They're running the Room with the Moose, which is where Kaz and Frosty run. They're actually looking for healers right now. I thought about bringing up my shaman to run with them there. They are a normal TOS team. They're looking at progression, and they need a couple healers. So that's pretty darn cool there too. I have a cat in my screen.
I actually posted a video of what I deal with my cats when I'm on my computer, which I'm shocked that neither of them have bugged me in this time of recording, because usually they're on my counter in my face saying, love me, love me, love me. Why aren't you paying attention to me?
Yeah, like mine right now, I thought was in my room, but I don't see him right now. So I wonder if he is outside or if he's inside. Let me see. You got that at the door? Nope. But yeah, sometimes I'll be playing and my cat's like, hey, pay attention to me, and he'll bite my hand. I'm like, ah.
Doesn't help that I am in fact a click caster, so when my cat's sitting in front of me, I can't see anything.
I'm a click caster person as well.
Yeah, DPS it is quick caster, but it's still you have to go 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 because my rotation, if I don't, then my damage goes down.
So you're a mage?
No, a warrior. Oh yeah.
Sorry, I was trying to know because you said 1 2 3.
No, you're all right. As an arms warrior, because of our RNG, it is kind of because I have to keep up Colossus Smash enough, so it's like. As soon as it's up, yeah.
Yeah, my boyfriend plays a warrior. Actually, he is playing his warrior right now. See, he's not like me. He doesn't have restraint, so he hasn't taken the summer off.
There's my cat.
My boyfriend's now giving me a grumpy face because I'm poking him.
I am his boyfriend.
Hi, I'm eating my ice cream.
Nice. I already have ice cream. I was watching Independence Day.
He was trying to get me ice cream. I'm like, I can't eat an ice cream right now.
Oh, on Thursday I was eating ice cream while talking with you guys, and my head I started getting a brain freeze. So I'm sitting here talking about lore, and I'm like, oh, brain freeze.
That's okay. Last show I was eating my dinner.
I did the same thing. I'll probably be doing the same thing on Thursday. Oh,
Yeah,
and
I actually ate my dinner before the show this time.
nice. Yeah, same. Well, especially for me, it's probably good because it was around 10 when we started, so it was good I had my dinner. Oh, and Nihar wanted us to talk about. He finally got his fox mount. He showed me the pictures of him in the quest, and he got it. And because of the corruption of the hour for the last time, he wants us to show our disapproval at him for getting his fox mount.
Congratulations! I don't like you. Yeah.
Same.
No, congratulations.
So this is a bad time to say I probably ran wither training 5 times. I have my fox mount.
Oh, I gave up. I seriously gave up. I'm horrible at it, and I can't find any more boxes, and I don't want to farm any more mana crystals.
I'm going to be doing now they have flying. I'll be doing weather training again once I get Draenor Pathfinder, because I'm working on getting my rogue up, and I realize my rogue's going to be in Draenor soon. So I'm finishing up the story. So right now when I'm in game, it's actually working on Warlords of Draenor content.
Oh man.
Oh, and Nihar wanted to also, second part of last week's email from him he said, because he was asking about what's the best class and why is it Panda. So he was also saying, you have played content from every expansion now, even if it isn't current. What expansion would you say you are enjoying the most in terms of story, content, and dungeons, raids, etc.?
Oh, that's a hard question.
I'm gonna go out here and I'm probably gonna get a lot of disapproval from people, but I loved Cataclysm so much. Coming from a person who played Vanilla WoW, Cataclysm was the coolest thing ever.
Yeah, I'd agree with you, because I've leveled three characters this past year from 1 to 110, or at least about 100, and it's amazing seeing how every quest doesn't send you from Dunmorrow to Darnassus to Blasted Lands back over to Elwyn Forest. Everything's all in one zone, and you just keep moving. I actually like that. I know people like vanilla. I like that everything's all in one area.
So I think one of the best questing zones that I actually, you know what? I think my favorite, and I feel like I'm a sheep for saying this, was kind of Lich King.
Everybody loved Lich King. It was great.
I know, but I think what really got me into it was the fact that the Lich King kept on showing up randomly, and there was one chain line in Ice Crown where you kind of was doing stuff, and this little creepy boy would just appear out of nowhere, and he's actually, I think, baby Arthas, and he shows you where his heart is.
Oh man, that's rough. All the feels, wow, feels.
Well,
It was just the storyline of this little boy and going through all the quests. It just, I don't know, it was, to me, very interactive.
yeah, my favorite is oh come on, is it's gonna start. Okay, hold on, I'm trying to get this. Mist of Pandaria. Just the whole zone, everything was so different. And playing through Pandaria, I just had so much fun going through that content. I never played it when it was original, because I actually left before MOP. I left before Burning Crusade, and then I leave before MOP. So it's.
I really liked MOP because they had really 2 new songs. One, I really like the in song. It just makes me very happy.
Can't do it. I can't sing it, but that's the one. The one right in the Sanctum.
Yeah, well, no, yeah, I think it is the second. The other one, they've revamped the Dark Moon Fair, and the songs that they had for the carousel, I just love it. So those were for music, I think they did really well for when MOP came out.
Yeah.
And then, but I think every expansion had some highlight of story that made that expansion great.
Well, and one thing that I enjoyed about Mop, I know it was not intentional, the similarities, but I love Kung Fu Panda. And I just thought it was so fun playing as a panda in Mop. I'm like, this is fun. I played a panda monk, and I'm like, what's the name of the main character? It's Jack Black's character, but it was just so much. It was just so much fun.
Wasn't that one of your trivia questions?
Not Kung Fu Panda, but I don't think. But it was something about Mop was one of my questions. It was something.
Yeah, it was Stormbrew Chow or something like that.
Or Chen Storm Stout, I think.
Yeah, that's it.
Oh yeah, the one where I lost it. I mean, lost the trivia. I didn't lose it. I didn't get like but.
What, you didn't lose your mind yet?
No, not yet. One day. Oh, and Siilverbolt, don't you have a Switch? Or is that somebody else who has a Nintendo Switch?
I don't have a Switch. I got a PS4.
Okay.
I have a Wii U.
Because and part of the other corrupted thing was apparently I don't think our Switch conversation got posted or got through. So because I was remembering that like I went to GameStop recently to see if they had Switches for sale, and when I went in there and was checking out, they said, "Oh, okay, if we have some online, if you order now we can have it shipped to the store. You can only buy in store to have it shipped to your house." I'm like, okay. So I started looking at my credit card. I'm like, I think I'm on raid lockout, so I'll have to see you.
Yeah, I probably won't buy the Switch until the Pokemon game comes to it. Not the tournament that's supposed to happen on September 22nd, but an actual Pokemon game. Because I'm addicted to Pokemon.
Oh yeah, I was thinking about getting a Switch until I heard that the 3DS is not going away. Not that the 3DS is bad, but I did not buy a 3DS or a Wii U. So when I saw that they could potentially have everything come to the Switch, have one unit, kind of like what I wanted the PS Vita to be, then I find out, oh no, we're going to have the 3DS and the Switch running simultaneously. I'm like, so I won't be able to play 3DS games on the Switch. Okay, no sale.
Yeah, for me, because for X and Y and Sun and Moon and all that, they're on the 3DS, so I had to have the 3DS. And I've held a Switch and I've held a 3DS. I prefer the 3DS.
A smaller or just better ergonomic feel?
It's easier to kind of cart around. Less chances of me scratching the screen because it folds on itself, unless you get the T2 3DS, then it doesn't matter because it doesn't fold. But I find the Switch just a little too bulky.
Yeah, I saw one. A kid was playing one on. I flew in April, and I saw a kid playing Switch in front of the plane. And I was like, "Oh man, he's gonna have an awesome. As long as the battery lasts, he's gonna have an awesome hour or two on that thing."
I have a cousin of mine, and I think he's like 12 or 13, going up on 13 now. And I commented he had it at one of my other cousin's graduation party. And I'm like, oh, you got the Switch? And his parents are like, yeah, he actually saved up for it himself. I'm like, that is so awesome. You are doing the things right there, kid.
Absolutely, and my nephew wants a Switch, but he doesn't save money. He's I hate to say it, sometimes he's like me, I feel like, because I don't always save money like I should. And he wants a Switch for Christmas, not realizing how much it costs. And he's like, oh, I'll save up for a Switch. And then he buys fidget spinners.
Oh, God. I am going to, just a personal thing now. This is something, I don't know what it is about it, but like when you get into like things that become super popular, now we're just doing a tangent on fidget spinners.
Right.
But, like, the things that, like, get super popular, I totally turn aversion towards, like, completely. Like, when it came to the Harry Potter series, I read up to the 4th book. I've seen most of the movies, if not all the movies. I've listened to almost quite a few of the books on tape. But after the fourth book, I think I was probably reading it maybe like the fifth or sixth one had come out. Like after the fourth book, I read it and it got so popular. I'm like, I'm done. I'm not gonna read it anymore. This is just too popular. Everybody's all mainstream and Harry Potter this and Harry Potter that. And like, where's my Golden Compass, people? Come on.
Well, I'm sorry.
And you're saying this as I have a chocolate frog in my hand.
So anyway, so the whole point why this is related to fidget spinners, because they're so stupidly popular right now, I am refusing to ever touch one. Like, I just refuse to ever touch one. Like, even though I know I'll probably get addicted to it, they're so totally cool, until maybe a year or two down the line, I am going to hold it to myself to never even pick one up or touch one.
See, I want a fidget cube.
Yes, I want one of those too.
Oh,
see, I like
cool.
but you can't get the knockoff ones because those ones break really easily and half the things don't work on them. But I have seen these. I think they've been out for over a year, maybe 6 months, somewhere around there. And I have wanted one, but I just don't want to spend the money on it.
No.
How much are they running now?
I think
Sorry, Fred.
just $10. 10
not
Canadian. No, they're not bad. It's between 10 and 14. It's just getting your hands on the legit one.
Well, Siilver, I've got both an idea I think you might want to do for chainmail, but I bought one of these chainmail fidgets before fidgeting was even a thing. I had just heard on another podcast about fidgetopia.com, and then there are these chainmail fidgets. I've had one of these chainmail fidgets in my pocket every day since I got it, and it's just, I like it better than the fidget spinners. I got a couple fidget spinners, maybe 9, 10, 11.
Just a couple. You might have a problem. Do you like keep them like everywhere, like that's of interest that you're gonna grab at them?
Well, what's funny is I have them all over my desk, but I don't really use them. I used my chainmail fidget the most.
So what you're telling me is you're going to just randomly start mailing these off as prizes to people when you're done and bored with them?
Well, if I can find a fidget spinner that I can put FrazlCast on, then I'll probably add it to the store.
I'm going to guess that you picked one up because it was a really pretty color.
Red.
At least two of them. Yeah, at least two of them you bought because, oh, this is so cool. That's like when you stop at the truck stops and you see the knives and you're like, oh, that's a pretty knife. I don't know why I need a knife, but I need that one.
I've got one that is a Batman fidget.
Right?
And then I got one that is that's light up and has a Bluetooth speaker in it.
It's got a Bluetooth speaker in it.
Yes.
Like, how well does that speaker work?
It sounds like but it's just I was like, I had to get it. I went on a trip and I started buying a fidget because my nephew is crazy about fidget spinners, and he used his Mall of America money to buy it. And actually, he used his Mall of America money to buy a Lego Batman kit, which then he proceeds to open it up and he loses a couple of the pieces all over the car, and then he starts to do it. But you didn't tell me. Yes, we did. But you did. But yeah, no. I bought a fidget spinner because he told me that they were cool, and I was like, okay, I want to try one out. Then I kept seeing them everywhere we go. I'm like, oh, that one looks cool. Oh, that one looks cool.
I tell you, it's like the knives at the truck stop. You're like, that's a really cool knife. I don't know why I need one, but I need that one.
Yeah, thankfully, they're not on QVC. Otherwise, I probably would have one ordered every day. And Siilver, because of your Harry Potter comments, you are never allowed back on the show. No, I'm kidding.
Perfect.
I'm kidding.
But no. Harry Potter has somewhat died down, so she can like it again.
True. Yes.
I would agree with that. I would definitely be willing to do that. That's not a problem. I'm actually a little more disappointed that Golden Compass didn't get as much of a crowd following as I feel it should have, because that was my books. I think Golden Compass came out probably a little bit before Harry Potter did.
They're really good books. The movie's not bad. I was shocked the part that they put actually in the movie with the jaw coming off.
That was like the best part that had to happen.
I know it was the best part, but it's movies. From book to a movie, they usually destroy them.
Like Aragon?
Percy Jackson?
I don't know about that one, but Aragon was another one, like, totally, like, where the heck are the dwarves?
I need to read Aragon because I saw the movie and I was like, I'm glad to know that from Aragon fans that the books are better.
Well, for
90% of the cases, the books are better.
I am hoping Ready Player One is actually good.
Oh, it is. Oh, are they making a movie of it?
They're making a movie about it, and I loved the book. I read it once halfway through, and then I read it, and then listened to it again on Audible. Thanks to All Things Azeroth, they got me into an Audible subscription.
Same here.
And now I can't stop. I'm still.
I think I've listened to that book probably over 10 times, and Will Wheaton is kind of my childhood crush when he was Wesley Crusher.
He read the book. Like he reads it.
He speaks it for the audible, so he reads it out.
And the way he reads
Ready Player One?
Yeah, Ready Player One.
Yes.
Oh man.
And the way it's really good.
It's really well done. Yeah. Just the way he does it.
Oh my god. See, here's like the biggest problem I have is like the fact that I have, granted, I have a lot of time in my car. I spend a lot of time driving to and from work. And one of the biggest problems I have is I got so many podcasts to listen to, and it's either like I listen to a book and neglect podcasts for like the next 3 weeks, or I listen to podcasts and don't listen to books.
See, I kind of switched from, because I started listening to podcasts, All Things Azeroth, kind of got me onto Audible, and I kind of stopped listening to podcasts. I'm
the same way. I have a huge in my podcast app. I put every WoW podcast out there on it and into a automatic playlist. So then when I'm in the podcast mood, I'll just kind of randomly look through. But it's so hard to keep on top of all of the podcasts because there's
so many.
Yeah, and if anybody's listening here who is trying to find more podcasts, go to realm-maintenance.com. Ro does an amazing job at showing you every podcast that is out there for World of Warcraft. And
absolutely.
I listen to the Blue Recluse. In fact, this is a plug for the Blue Recluse. I actually sang the intro song for the latest episode because I kept singing along to the intro to Blue Recluse. It's a catchy song. So that I told them I made a song about it, and the guy said, "Well, I would love to hear you sing along." So they sent me the audio, and I actually sang along to it, and it opens up their recent episode. But through them, I found another podcast called The Blizzard Umbrella. So I mean, it's just I keep finding podcasts, and yeah.
One of my all-time favorites was the Dark Moon Herald.
Yeah.
I've been on their show a couple of times. I love the Dark Moon fair feel. It's upbeat. It's happy. They talk about current stuff, but they also kind of do trivia, and they do so much. It's a very active podcast.
Yeah, I'm really liking a lot of those kind of podcasts. Right now, my top picks are Lagging Balls.
Yes.
Yeah, the Thorn and This. They just make me laugh so hard. And like the one that just came out this last week, they asked the community for poems, and some of the poems were fantastic. Even our own Zandara from CTR had an amazing poem that she, I think it was a limerick that she posted. And then, so I listened to Lagging Balls is one of my top ones, and I'm trying to think of the other one. Azeroth Roundtable is my other favorite one.
Oh,
John,
and then a lot. I'm like I said, I've been really bad for podcasts, so I think it's been over a year since I've listened to them. But I have a lot of audiobooks, and I mean a lot of audiobooks.
Yeah, I've got a friend of mine who's got quite a few credits saved up, and I can listen to his Audible, but I just don't have time.
Yeah, another one that's really good is Awakened Online, and the other book series is NPC.
I need to start listening to NPC because I just heard the audio clip last night, and because I'm finishing up the first book of Off to Be a Wizard, I don't know if I want to go. I will go on with the series, but I don't know if I want to go on with that series or put that on hold and go on NPC. I mean, it's just
finished Off to Be a Wizard first. There's 3 books. Definitely finish all 3 first.
Okay.
Then NPC has 3 books, but they're not all called like an NPC series. So it was kind of a pain to figure out what the other books are. I'm just trying to look in my phone.
I think Audible fixed that because when I went to NPC, it said more from this series, so I was able to see all 3 books.
Yeah, the names for them it goes NPC, Split the Party, and then Going Rogue. And the series, they changed it to Spell, Swords, I can look at this. Spell, Swords, and Stealth is what the series is called.
Are you in the Casper mattress box? Yes, he is. My cat got into the mattress box because I got a Casper mattress last year, and the box is in our guest bedroom, which is the recording studio, and the box is shaking. I'm like, I think he's. Let me just make sure he's not trapped in there. 1 second.
But yeah, the other book series is Awakening Online, and there is 2 books in that series so far, and that one is a huge, giant cliffhanger after the second book.
Yes, I was in the car because I had been I had gotten Madros and Emma onto Awaken Online, and I had not finished even book 1. So I finished book 1, then I quickly worked on book 2, and as soon as I got the cliffhanger, I was on my way to dance, and I was like, no.
Hey, I warned you.
Worst.
I warned you that the cliffhanger was horrible.
Oh, I know. It made it a little bit better that you warned me, but then I was just still like, no. I kept thinking, okay, what's gonna happen? What's gonna happen? What's gonna happen? And then it was still worse than what I was afraid of.
Yeah, we will have to theory craft about that one later, so we don't have spoilers, because I have so many things in my head how it could happen or things could get better.
So this is so in case anybody wants to sign up for Audible, it is bit.ly/ATA2017. bit.ly/ATA2017. I figured might as well send people over to All Things Azeroth Audible because they got us hooked.
Yeah.
Well, on top of that, if you go use their code, maybe also check them out, their podcast. They record on Mondays.
Absolutely.
Nice.
Every Monday at 9:30 p.m. Eastern, and that'd be 9.
5. No, you said 9?
8, 7, 6:30 p.m. Pacific. And yeah, I whenever I can, whenever I'm not needed to fully concentrate in PvP, I will actually have PvP with CTR on one guild. On one channel, and then Chrome I open up Discord and I'm listening to All Things Azeroth, so I'm doing both. Cause yeah, and I was on All Things Azeroth 3 times, and I got addicted to talking on the podcast, so I was like, hey, why not start my own?
It's a lot of fun.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I was on their show as a host or co-host for a year, but then I took a break from World of Warcraft, so I stepped down.
And anyone listening, we're always looking for people to keep coming back, because what I envision FrazlCast to be is it's kind of a roundtable, kind of like we've had hear different perspectives. Because I was talking with somebody, and World of Warcraft is so large that we need to hear from everybody. We need to hear perspectives, as long as they're not toxic. I mean, I want valid criticism is one thing, but I don't want the toxic comments, the ones that don't build up, that don't add anything. Like on Twitter, I like it when people give valid criticism and valid feedback on why something should be differently, not just it sucks.
Right.
So what you're telling me, I could have an hour-long rampage about how Raffion is still not in the game, and he needs to be in the game now because it's little Raffion. He's supposed to be here when Legion drops, and where is he?
Oh, actually, we are onto the lore segment of the agenda. So Raytheon, and we are today's episode. I forgot to say is in Tavern in the Mist in the Veiled Star. We're all just around a table in the Tavern in the Mist, which I heard is where Raytheon appears, or is near where Raytheon appears.
Yeah, that is kind of where his quest hub is for a bit, or used to be, because he was related to the legendary cloak. So you would have to go to him and he would give you a quest, and you get to know a little bit about him. But the true story about him would be the Rogue Dagger legendary quest in Cataclysm, where you find out that he is the last black dragon egg that's kind of survived from the corruption, Deathwing's corruption. And you kind of help him out by, yes, kind of assassinating people who are out to get him.
Nice.
Now, I believe it was Blasted Lands. There is a pre-quest line anyone can do when you're going through there that you actually help the Red Dragonflight save him. And that's how he became with the rogues in the basement.
Okay.
Crazy.
So there's a lot of depth to Raytheon. Now, the sad part, if you hadn't read Crimes of War, I think that was the book where Garrosh is basically on trial. It kind of explains that it's Raytheon's fault for why Garrosh got freed. Raytheon had this image, and he thought he would be Garrosh would be the one who would actually defeat the Legion.
So then with him, the Siege of Orgrimmar happened?
Yeah, and that's there was another Drake that actually helped. One of the time ones, you actually do it for the well, can't do it anymore, but for the ring quest, you had to defeat a spirit of one of the bronze dragons that Garrosh had killed, but he's so devastated that his spirit lingers.
You know, that brings up an interesting idea that I've always had, especially with the Caverns of Time. It would be cool if we could go back and redo some of the old quests, like the Siege of the Undercity. I mean, just do some of the old things. Make it where you don't get anything from it, but like the micro holidays, you get to relive past content. Because like hearing about this Raytheon content, I would love to do that. And there's some pre-Cataclysm content. I know they changed the engine, so I know so some of that old content is gone forever.
It's not actually completely gone. If you consider like Dustless, you can switch to old Dustless and back again. Not Dustless,
Blasted Lands.
Blasted Lands, thank you. You can switch from old Blasted Lands back to new Blasted Lands, back and forth with the Bronze Dragon at the beginning, the entrance from Swamp of Sorrows, Swamp of Sorrows.
But my thing is, because the two quests one was related to the cloak and the other one's related to the ring, wouldn't this kind of content for those gone? Because you can no longer get the items?
Yeah, I think so. I think those quest lines are gone, but I don't know about how they would bring that back in.
Well, you could kind of do a mini version in the Caverns of Time. Sadly, the Bronze Drake no longer have their powers, so I don't know how many more Caverns of Time stuff we can have now. But I could see like kind of a mini little dungeon that recaps all of that quest line.
Yeah,
that would be cool.
And kind of have like when you get the cloak, the flavor text could be, well, this item used to be good, but now it's just a tattered piece of of cloth. So
have it as a white piece.
Yeah,
so not even
that's
gray.
cool.
It's a white piece.
You know, there's I don't think I've gotten this item yet, but there's like a memory cube in the game that you can get, and you can relive some of the cinematics. Yeah.
Yeah, I got that. Because at first I'm like, what is this? What's the point of this? And then I hand it in and it's like, oh, I can see all the cinematics now.
Is that on LFR?
I think it was an archaeology quest. I can't remember.
Okay, because I thought I had heard that was on Nighthold.
It might be at Nighthold, actually.
Cubic Coalescing is the name of the quest, and it's a reward at the end of that.
Okay.
I don't know the chain off the top of my head. However, all I know is it's a really cool item. If you don't have it, definitely work towards getting it because you get to go see all the cinematics up until Nighthold. They haven't put, I don't think they put Tomb of Sargeras in there yet.
Okay, the item for the quest line drops off a chromatic anomaly.
Yeah.
Which also makes you go into Karazhan.
Okay.
I might have that.
And does it say?
I have a whole bunch of quests I'm sitting on.
Same. I'm a constructive feedback for Blizzard would be if we could go past 25 quests because I routinely have to drop quests because of that.
I gotta clear stuff out,
I
man.
completely agree with that. I do like the fact that, World Quest, you don't have to worry about it. You just have to go into the zone. But yeah, I hold on to a lot of quests.
Me too. And I'm almost done with the Illidan soul fragments, and then I'm working on clearing out the Trial of Valor soul fragments. I'm almost done with those. Yay!
So right now I'm trying to see if this item drops in LFR. So far I know it drops in normal.
Okay, so worst case, I'll get it in when we're doing.
It says definitely drops in LFR. Ran normal a couple of times on my main, but didn't get it. Had some guildies to get it though. Ran LFR on 2 of my alts and got it on both.
Okay, good. So I just got to add chromatic anomaly to my run because I just found out that you could queue for multiple raids. You still can't queue for multiple dungeons, but you can queue for multiple raids. I just found that out this past 2
Really?
weeks.
Oh, it's a lifesaver because it pauses your queue for the other ones while you're doing it. So as soon as you finish that raid, the queue pops up 9% of the time.
And
Nice.
And I believe PvP also you can queue for.
Yes, you can. You can queue for one dungeon, all the raids, and one PvP. But I believe you can only queue for 5 things max at once.
Which makes a lot of sense, but yeah, because I kept wondering, logging in, thinking, okay, which queue do I give myself over to for RNG?
Well, see, what I usually do is I will queue for the 5 that I want. Then once I finish, instead of accepting the next queue that pops up right away, I leave the previous group, and then I can queue for something else, and then hit enter raid.
Smart. And then in the convening time, do something else in the game until the next queue pops.
Well, the queue will continuously pop because I'm in the raid. I've already pre-queued, so I'm still back to my max 5.
Okay, nice.
Apparently, I picked up my last lingering soul fragment. My quest is ready to turn in.
Nice.
Congrats!
Thank you. I've been super behind on everything. Actually, I got Broken Isles Diplomat today too.
Nice.
I want to farm the stupid Forgotten Hippogriff.
I know those crystals are everywhere. I'm pushing for flying first. As soon as I get flying, then I can focus on other stuff. Then the flying's gonna make it all easy.
I got flying, and I should have done it when I had other people doing it and helping other people, because it was such a pain to walk around that not many people did it.
Was it a case of you had a bunch of people, so one person was getting the crystals and everybody else was helping to find them?
Yes.
Gotcha.
And that's the best way to do it, even now with flying, because you can say, hey, I'm at this coordinates. Come to me, it's up.
Hey, I also just maxed my mana holding too. Why can't I hold all this mana I just got?
Congrats.
Thank you. I am working my way through it slowly. And I'm one point, the next point I put into my weapon is Concordance. I am so close. I can finally go to the Broken Shore, finish it.
Nice. I think I'm a couple of points from Concordance, but I got flying. My former guildmaster was great. He helped me fly me around the shore for different things.
I think I'm going to stop focusing on putting stuff in my weapon and just trying to keep collecting the appearance.
Nice.
But I am really sad because my Warlock is my main, so I'm getting the appearance on there. But I don't have time to do all this stuff on my alts to get their weapons.
Yeah.
I know. I want Werebear. I want my heroic bear.
What I think, in my opinion, is if you unlocked it on your main, and as long as your alt is up to that high level and have that technically pattern unlocked in some way, your progress that you've done on your main should go over to your alts.
I'm going to probably say then that there'd be somebody out there, well, then there's not enough stuff to do in World of Warcraft.
But there's so much to do.
I know, but
my biggest complaint, okay, on that note, it's they talked about these appearances going away at the end of Legion, and that's kind of you're telling us farm every single character, every single appearance that you possibly can that you want appearances on, because it's going away at the end of Legion. Like, there's no way to get it again. Granted, class mounts are staying. They did say that much, but
thankfully.
Right.
But that's what the frustrating part is. They flat out said they're going away, and I'm like, I don't have no life to just farm these on every single thing.
Same here, and because like I'd be fine if the weapon itself was pointless after this expansion, but it'd be great knowing in the next expansion I can still grind up an artifact just for fun and then get and collect the appearance.
I totally agree, and I feel the same thing with, well, not this expansion. I find legendaries are kind of useless this expansion, but like the ring and the cloak is like, why did you get rid of them?
Well,
I'm still collecting the staffs on all my casters. I have the Shadow Fury on my DK Paladin and Warrior. Like, I'm still collecting these legendaries, even though they don't have to be current content. It's the fact that I want to collect them.
Well, oh, sorry, go ahead.
I was just saying, I have a right binding of the Windseeker on my Hunter. I just need to go get the left one, and because Hunters can use Thunder Fury.
I have the left one on my Warlock. Want it?
That'd be great if we can trade it.
And Warlocks can't use it because it's a two-handed sword.
Oh, man.
And Thunder Fury is not transmoggable, right?
Nope.
Okay.
But
no legendaries are.
Well, and one thing I saw is Draenor garrisons. The little statue. You get a statue for collecting the legendary ring in Draenor, but you can't collect the legendary. I didn't have a high enough character back when I came back last June, so I missed the legendary ring quest. So I don't get a cool statue in my garrison. I
mean, I'll throw this out there. I mean, just to play the devil's advocate here, in the sense that, what about having the exclusivity? Like, these people worked so hard to get these items and things like that. Like, what makes things exclusive versus what makes things just being lucky, playing the game at the right time, right place?
That is true.
It still takes some skill. Like, yes, I know the staffs for Firelines is not too hard to get. It's a lot of collecting.
Sorry, I don't mean to interrupt. Just the thought popped in my head right now. Like, having things exclusive in the sense of time spent to get it versus being lucky and being there at the time that it was available. That's the big kicker right there. I think exclusivity should be time spent. Yes. Granted, I mean, it's like, it would prove to the people that are in your inner circles that they know how much time you have to play versus how much time, it took you to get said item. Like, I've been working on this for this long to get it because of this. However, you got other people who play the game, so quickly, they've got concordance already, they've got flying already, and here I am, I'm taking my time. It's a huge accomplishment for me, but I've taken my time and I've had a lot of other stuff going on. Then I'm getting flying eventually in my own time, but I'm still going to get flying, and it's still going to be that great of an achievement for myself for getting it.
Yeah.
Well, the other thing they could do for, let's say, the cloak as an example, some of the things that you have to do are scenario-based. So it still took time for you to do it. So what they could do, where they have flex ability to make you as current level. So you could technically do current level item trying to do those scenarios.
Right.
Yeah, it's
Or they added
The scaling.
with scaling. They also had PvP, keep the PvP stuff in there. So, you had to win 2 different battlegrounds and to do that. And it still takes time.
yeah, it's kind of like Pathfinder and Draenor. I talked to a lot of people who don't have Pathfinder and Draenor just for that. So for me, getting Pathfinder and Draenor will make me feel really good because it's time I have to put in on old content, and I'm going to have it. And they could do some of this stuff, kind of either a color scheme of the original one, and you get a different color scheme. I hate to use the word, but like the friendship moose, you can get another moose, just a different style, or they do like ahead of the curve the achievement. We can still get Helia and all that. We just can't get ahead of the curve Helia.
I've got the best moose in the game right now, but he doesn't fly, which makes me very sad.
Which moose is that?
Achero, the archaeology moose. He's a spirit moose.
Oh, yeah, I have him.
Yeah, he's so cool. I love him, and he matches my pet and everything that I need to wear.
Yeah, I've seen someone who has the little pet, that it's a spiritual one, the hunter pet, and they have the mount.
Wait, there's a little spirit
I believe
moose?
so.
No, there's a baby moose that you get from Honored with High Mountain.
I swear it was a spiritual, or it's the Beastmaster, and he had 2 mooses out.
That's possible because Beastmaster, you can use the Essence Buffer. Oh man, I've been collecting so many quests. Let me see. I've got quite a few artifact power pieces right now. I'm so close.
Yeah.
I'm curious if I can actually buy my Feathermane book without flying. Having concordance, because I know you have to have concordance in order to get the book, but I don't know if it's concordance and flying.
Tome of the Hybrid Beast?
Yep.
Let me see. Hope I didn't just spoil somebody by saying it.
No, it's been out for a while now.
Okay, so far it's saying only the hunter who buys the book needs to have a point in concordance. So I'm not seeing anything about flying.
463 million, and I need 520. 60 million more at least. That's like three more world quests.
Well, and I was hearing that somebody was saying you actually want up to 54 points in an artifact. Now, I'm after 54. I don't know if I'm going to keep putting into concordance or if I'm going to work on Fury.
Yeah, that's a problem. Like, well, with Fury, with warriors, you get your other mounts from just switching specs. With hunters, I have to have concordance on all 3 weapons to get all 3 pets or mounts.
Ouch! Odin must like us better.
Yeah, right. But see, then I get to choose which mount I want. See, now here's a bonus question though, because the achievement for mount collectors like myself is for mounts usable by a single character. So does that mean I get 3 more mounts added to my collections, or does it count as just 1? That's that's a $1 million question in my book. Yeah, because it's like each that you get, it's a loyal wolf hawk, which is the first one, and then it's a furious wolf hawk and like a frenzy wolf hawk or something like that. So each one has a different name to it. So it makes me think that each one is an entry in the book, which means each one should count towards your mount collection. Unless you're a druid, and then you're just screwed.
Yeah, I would assume so, because I think at some point they have way more. If I was listening to Reigns of Azeroth, and they have way more mounts in the game than the achievement. So I think at some point Blizzard is trying to help people get to that achievement.
Markonnen is at like 320 or more.
Yikes! Yeah, I feel pretty good. I feel pretty good that I got to mine, and I've just only been playing since last June, and that's off and on playing.
my tree has grown. I teleported back to Suramar hub, and I got the cutscene that my tree grew again.
Yay! Oh, the best part's coming up. Can I spoil it?
Go for it.
Yes, spoil it?
Yes.
Okay, the best part I find is when you get a fruit a day and you get to give it to people. Me and my best friend always gave it to the kids.
Yeah, they were so cute.
Well, it's like, they're just so innocent.
You gotta hear, like, if you go back quite a few episodes in Azeroth Roundtable and John Jag were talking about how you give it to the kids, and he always kept giving it, he always found the same kid, like the same kid hit the same path, and every time you go into the city, he seemed to always give it to the same kid. And he just had this, like, idea in his mind that this kid's, like, back there, like, selling it to other kids, like jacking the price up on this fruit that he's giving these kids. The kids just go back there and just, like, selling it to other people.
The fruit cures them of their illness.
But he's like, because the kids have some like limited bottle, there's only like 3 of them. He felt like, didn't I already give you one of these yesterday?
Yeah, I wish they kind of like stop you from giving it to the same one. Like once you give it to them, they're good, and then you can give it to another one. I think that would be a little bit more better interaction.
Yeah,
but yeah, always give the kids the fruit.
Oh man.
Well, it's that, or there is another Suramar in an alternate dimension, and whenever you're going there, you're actually going to a parallel dimension of Suramar.
So what you're telling me is I'm going into other people's garrison, but it's other people's Suramar.
Yes.
I'm so lost.
1 second.
You remember in Draenor with the garrison, whoever's the party leader, you would be in their garrison. Well, so like that with Suramar pretending, imaginary. It's basically every time you go in there to give some fruit to a poor victim, you're just giving it to the same one. Well, it's in a different area, so it's not really giving it to the same one.
Speaking of garrisons, I might need to add that to my Friday list of things that we need to go do for everybody. Go back and
the garrison raids.
Yes.
Mounts. There's mounts, and with us being high level, we can get gold like every single time.
I have one of those little raid banners in my guild or my bank, and I've been trying to find a group of people to do it.
Yes. And it's your chest that drops at the end of it, right?
Yeah. It's basically when you get, I think, gold or high level, in there has a chance of a banner dropping for a raid type thing, where you can kill a boss.
Cool.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that you can do in that. And there was achievements all along, and I so wanted to do it, but I could never find people because they were always like, oh no, I got this to do, or I got this to do, or nothing's in WoW, or sad to say, I might have been one of those horrible hypocrites saying you're not the high enough level because I didn't want it to go to waste. So I'm saying I was being a meanie poo head. I didn't want my thing to go to waste.
Absolutely, we'll definitely do it because I'm going to add that to my list of things to do because I am an avid mount collector and I want my Fellfire Hawk. Which once I get that, I'm going to want the next one too. So,
I also need to find someone to farm, even though I can do it a solo, but farm the Pandarian Warbringer mounts. Because I have 2 out of the 3, and I feel really bad if I kill one of them that I don't need, and it drops.
Yeah, I see what you're saying, so that other people are in the group too. Yeah, I've got one myself already, but those are just farmed nonstop. There's people out there all the time.
I know. I wish I continued farming it when the expansion was current. Like I said, I got 2 out of 3. I'm just missing the Jade one. And you can tell which one you're going to get by which the mount the guy is on. So the Jade one's obvious that if it's a green mount, that's going to drop the Jade. If it has the amber eyes, it's going to be the amber one. If it has, I think, the red eyes, then it's the other one, which I can't remember. It starts with a P.
Primal?
Yes, that one.
Yeah, exactly. I actually got out there when it was after Pandaria. Warlords. When Warlords popped, I went out there because that was like the best time to go because everybody's in Warlords. I'm like, see ya, suckers. I'm gonna be over here in the old expansion, farming all the stuff that you guys were camping.
Yeah, and then the problem with cross-realm hoppers, the one I found anyways, is they would basically hop different realms while you're waiting for that spawn. Like, I'm being a good person and just staying there waiting for the spawn timer, because it's about every half an hour, I think, or every 15 minutes it will spawn. So I will do other things like crochet, watch a TV show while I wait for that spawn to go. And then the spawn will happen, and if it's the one I needed, I would attack. If it's not the one I needed, I just left it. But you got the realm hoppers, they don't care. They just start attacking it right away.
Right.
I think, if I understand right, cross-realm zones change so you can do less of that, or am I thinking of a different cross-realm zone?
They changed. I know they changed much of it where you have to be in the same zone as the person that you're realm hopping to.
I know that's with current content. I don't think old content counts.
Interesting.
Because I've noticed that with current content, because my best friend's still on my old server, which is a PvP server. So if she zones in first to whatever area in in Legion, on the Broken Shore, there we go, Broken Shore, and then I went in after her, we were on her server. Now, if I was in that zone first and then she came, no matter who's the party leader, it would change to my zone, so
right.
PvE. And I remember trying to explain this to her because she couldn't figure out why we couldn't get off the PvP server. And I'm like, no, you gotta let me zone in first, or I have to re-invite you to the group.
I thought it was the party leader who did that.
Yeah, it used to be. It doesn't matter. It's the first person who zones in on that area.
Gotcha.
So if you want to help your PvP people not to get eaten alive by the opposite faction, make sure you're in the zone before them.
Gotcha. All right, cool.
I hear someone's kitty in the background.
Oh, he wants in now. He wanted out. Now he wants in. There you go. He had got them locked in the caster box, so I had to go get him earlier. But then, hi. Sorry.
Cute.
He'll meow a lot. So, oh yeah. So I want to thank you both for joining. Let me move us over to the outro music.
We ran late tonight. I was like not expecting us to go this long, but it's been amazing.
Yeah, and I definitely thank you for coming out, and I definitely want to have you back in the future.
You should have seen the very first show and see how long that lasted.
Yeah, it was almost like 1:30, and then, well, I went to bed around 1:30 because I think we went till about 12:40.
You were doing it for 4 hours.
Yeah.
That's like, if you want people to listen to it, you gotta make it short and sweet, like no more than like 2 max. But I'm just throwing that out there. But I had fun, that's for sure. I'm like I'm typing in chat. I'm like, Fraz, are we gonna wrap this up? Like, you're the host. We should cue the outro.
Yeah, well, and part of it was I didn't want to ruin the flow of the show, but yeah. So yeah, and then in the future I'll definitely ask.
You're the captain of the ship. Drive us home. Okay,
well. Today on FrazlCast, we had Siilverbolt, who is at Worgen BM Hunter on Twitter, runs Convert to Shenanigans over in Convert to Raid, and we had Lady Emma. It's at Lady-Emma on Twitter. She does cooking, reads poetry 5 nights a week, so definitely go to her poetry readings. Right, Emma?
Really? Me? Okay. There once was a cat. that likes to sit in a box.
And that was great poetry. So yeah.
Thank you.
5 nights a week she reads poetry. Well, thank you all for tuning into FrazlCast. Catch the show at FrazlCast.com. Email us at show@FrazlCast.com. We have a voicemail through SpeakPipe. There's a widget on our site. I am Frazly. You can find me at FrazlyTastic on Twitter. And, I kept something in from the last show. It's about War Chief, and like War Chief's not on the show. But yeah, thank you all for joining, and we will see you again on FrazlCast.
Don't forget to eat my lock cookies.
Bye-bye.
FrazlCast is a fan podcast that covers Blizzard games. We are not affiliated with Blizzard Entertainment. Views expressed by the host and guests are their own. Some of the art, music, and sound effects come from Blizzard games and are owned by Blizzard Entertainment, Inc. No copyright infringement is intended.